What's up guys, Brad here, aka Home Theater Gamer, and in today's video, let's talk about the next gen consoles because reasons. So finally we could squash all those hardware rumors because both companies have released all their specs to the public. Microsoft actually put their console into tech YouTubers' hands, well, not me because you know, I'm not that important, with Sony taking the more safe and restrictive approach with an informative yet extremely lackluster presentation. Needless to say, both consoles are shockingly nearly identical. Both consoles are using AMD Zen 2 8-core CPUs, with the PS5 being clocked at 3.5 GHz, while the Xbox Series X is clocked at 3.8 GHz. Both will use SMT, which is basically hyper-threading. However, the Series X will reduce the clock speed to 3.6 GHz, while SMT is enabled. Microsoft has stated that developers will be able to enable SMT or disable SMT and go for the higher clock speed. On the GPU side, both consoles are running an AMD GPU with RDNA 2.0, with the PS5 clocked at a variable 2.23 GHz with 36 compute units, and the Series X coming in at a locked 1.825 GHz with 52 compute units. The PS5 falls slightly behind the Series X's 12 teraflops with only 10.28 teraflops, making the Series X look, on paper at least, slightly more powerful than the PS5. Moving over the last couple specs here, the PS5 and Series X both have 16 gigabytes of GDDR6 shared pool memory. Storage on the PS5 will use a custom 825 gigabyte SSD, while on the Series X a 1 terabyte custom NVMe drive will be used. With the specs now confirmed, the biggest question everyone has on their minds is which one is the more powerful of the two. Well, if I'm being honest, they're incredibly similar in terms of GPU and CPU performance. Both consoles support hardware accelerated ray tracing, variable rate shading, and a ton of other features that are supported by RDNA 2.0. There will most likely be a difference in overall graphical quality, but I don't know if we'll see the same type of gap that we saw with the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X. Considering both consoles are using RDNA 2.0, it's not just as simple as looking at teraflops and calling it a day. With that said, can we really expect the PS5 and Series X to hit native 4K at 120 frames per second? Native resolution at those frame rates isn't likely, to be honest, even with the benefits and optimizations that RDNA 2.0 will bring to the table. Image reconstruction using machine learning is more likely here. NVIDIA's recent release of DLSS 2.0, which is much improved over the initial release, has proven that an AI upscaled image can look as good, if not better at times, than the natively rendered image, while also providing a huge performance boost. In theory, since similar tech is built into RDNA 2.0, it makes sense that this type of technology would be used for high frame rates at 4K and above. Now let's talk about storage, specifically speed. The Series X has a custom NVMe SSD with a throughput of 2.4 gigabytes per second.
Okay, I found this on the web for Zax. Is a custom
What?
best 0.4 gigabytes per second. Check it out.
The PS5, on the other hand, offers up 825 gigabytes of SSD storage using a proprietary format with a throughput of 5.5 gigabytes per second. Essentially, we're looking at the possibility of faster load times on the PS5, which would make sense as Sony has been touting that as a big selling point for the past year or so. Both consoles do support expandable storage, with the PS5 offering up a NVMe slot so you can just slot in a regular NVMe drive, while the Series X chose to go the more proprietary route and are only offering storage cards by Seagate. So with all that said, how is this looking on the home theater front, which is probably why you're here? Obviously, HDR support will be there day one. I do hope that Microsoft and Sony implement some type of HDR calibration at the system level instead of on a per game basis. That way it's just set it and forget it. The Series X will have a feature that adds HDR support to certain games using a machine learning algorithm, no matter if the developer intended the game to be in HDR or not. Dolby Atmos support will hopefully be a thing on both consoles, though according to the PS5 reveal, it looks like Sony may be using their own spatial audio format. Now, I get that for headphones, I really do, but do we really need another audio format? Is this going to be another thing that we have to go buy a receiver or new pre-pro for, or can it be added retroactively? Sorry if I'm ranting, but this just sounds like a way to get out of paying the Dolby Atmos license fee. I mean, there's also DTS-X, which has seen no mention on either console so far. Lastly, let's talk about the touchy subject of exclusives. Obviously, Sony's exclusives aren't available anywhere else. Microsoft is in a very strange position though. Basically, all of their exclusives will also be on the PC. So, for those of us who already have a decent gaming rig, there's not much of a reason to rush out and get the Series X when it launches. It will be interesting to see how it all pans out. So the big question is, Which one should you get? Well, it basically comes down to the games you prefer. If you're a big fan of Naughty Dog or like a bunch of Sony titles, then obviously get the PS5. If you absolutely can't live without Halo and need ray tracing in Minecraft, then go with the Series X. If you already have a decent PC, you could wait and see how these things play out, or you could also take that money and put it towards a new GPU or CPU or both. Obviously, there will be launch day issues. That's just how things go. If you're hesitant at all, then I say just play the waiting game and see what happens. And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. What are your thoughts on the new generation of consoles? Leave a comment down below and let me know. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and click that subscribe button. And you know what? If you want to hit that bell notification to get notified when I upload content, go ahead. I post a video once a week. Take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you in the next one when I fake electrocute myself in front of a couple of kids.